My family planned to use me as a babysitter for 7 kids. At Dad's retirement party, after making me pay for the catering, so I canceled everything and went on a trip to Austin, they were all calling me in a panic. All right, Reddit. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. Having your shit together while your family's a train wreck is like walking around with a target painted on your back. They start eyeing you like you're a walking piggy bank with a free labor sticker slapped on your forehead. That's been my reality for 8 months straight. Grab your popcorn and enjoy the shit show. Read the whole thing, though. The ending was unexpected, even for me. I'm Blake, 26 male, and I work in tech here in Phoenix, pulling in around $140,000 a year, which is pretty solid money in Arizona. Got myself a decent 2-bedroom condo in Scottsdale, leasing a clean Audi A4, and enough cash left over to hit Mastro's Steakhouse whenever I feel like it. By most people's standards, I've got my life on track. But here's the thing nobody warns you about. Your family starts treating it like communal property, like your time, your money, your entire existence somehow belongs to them just because you share some DNA. My older sister Amanda is 31, married to this guy Todd, who's about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. They've got 2 kids, Tyler, 9, and April, 7, living in Tempe in one of those cookie-cutter subdivisions where everyone's drowning in debt trying to keep up appearances. Here's where it gets good. Amanda's been running this scam on me for 8 months. Started innocent enough, she'd hit me up Friday night asking if I could watch Tyler and April for just a couple hours on Saturday. Family helps family, right? Except just a couple hours somehow morphed into 8 hours. Then 10, then every single Saturday without fail, stretching from 8 a.m. to sometimes 9 or 10 at night. 14-hour shifts every single week. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. sharp, my doorbell's going off. I'm usually still in my boxers, maybe working on my first coffee, thinking about hitting the gym or catching a round of golf with my boys. I open the door and there's Amanda with Tyler and April, both kids already bouncing off the walls because she's pumped them full of Pop-Tarts and Capri Suns. Amanda's got this fake smile plastered on. Hey, brother! The kids have been asking about Uncle Blake all week. Then she's just gone. Burns rubber out of my parking lot before I can even process what happened. Meanwhile, she's off to some spa day with Todd, or burning through cash at Scottsdale Fashion Square, or day drinking at some overpriced brunch place. A typical Saturday. Amanda shows up at 8 a.m., drops the kids, and leaves. Then the day goes. Scramble eggs they won't touch. Target run because Amanda forgot April's allergy meds. Make mac and cheese from scratch. Then break up a fight over the Xbox. Order pizza because I'm running on empty. 9 p.m., Amanda finally shows up. Don't get me wrong. Tyler and April are good kids. That's not the problem. The problem is I didn't sign up to be a part-time parent. I've got my own life to live. Friends who want to grab lunch. Women I could be taking out. A golf league on Saturday mornings that I haven't touched in months. But here's where it gets really messed up. She never asks. Not once in 8 months has she called ahead. She just shows up. It's assumed. Expected. The first couple months I figured it was temporary. Maybe she was dealing with something stressful. I'm not heartless. But after month 3 rolled around, when it became clear this was the new normal, I started getting really pissed. I tried bringing it up casually a few times. Hey Amanda, maybe I could get a few weekends to myself. Every single time she hit me with the guilt trip. But Blake, the kids love you so much. Or, Todd and I never get any couple time. Or my personal favorite, this is what uncles do. This is what family does. Family. That's the magic word they use to justify anything. Around month 5, I decided to have a real conversation. Called her on a Sunday morning after another marathon babysitting session. Hey Amanda, we need to talk about the Saturday thing. I love spending time with Tyler and April, but I need some weekends for myself. Maybe I watch them twice a month instead? The silence was thick. Then her voice came back, sharp and defensive. Are you serious right now, Blake? You're really going to be selfish about this? Todd and I bust our asses all week. We barely get any time together. You're single, you don't have kids. What else are you even doing on Saturdays? I tried explaining that maybe I wanted to have a social life, go on dates, see my friends, hit the gym. You can do all that on Fridays or Sundays. Your friends can hang out while you're watching the kids. Honestly, I'm really disappointed in you right now. I thought you cared about Tyler and April. There it was. The guilt card. If I didn't want to sacrifice every Saturday forever, clearly I didn't love my niece and nephew. I was trapped. 2 weeks after that phone call, I decided to escalate. If Amanda wasn't going to listen, maybe my parents would step in. They're generally practical people. Dad spent 40 years in commercial real estate before retiring. Mom worked as a hospital administrator. I showed up at their house in Paradise Valley for Sunday dinner. Nice place in a golf community. I figured having a family discussion with witnesses would help. Massive miscalculation. We were sitting around the table, Dad carving his famous tri-tip, Mom passing around garlic mashed potatoes, and I brought it up casually. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I love Tyler and April, but I'm feeling pretty burned out watching them every single Saturday. I was hoping Amanda and I could work out a schedule where I get a few weekends to myself. Dad didn't even look up from his plate. Blake, those kids are family. You help family. That's how it works. But Mom? Mom gave me this disappointed, I raised you better than this look. Honey, Amanda works very hard, and she deserves time with her husband. You're single. You don't have the same responsibilities. And honestly, spending time with Tyler and April is probably good practice for when you eventually have kids of your own. But Mom, what if I want to date someone? What if I have plans with my friends? Amanda jumped in before Mom could respond. You can date on Friday nights or Sunday evenings. Your friends can come over while you watch the kids. I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Dad nodded. Your sister's right. Family comes first. That's when it hit me. They genuinely believed my time didn't matter. My life was secondary to Amanda's convenience because I wasn't married with kids. I forced a smile and said I understood, but inside I was seething. After dinner, I overheard Amanda talking to Mom in the kitchen while I was in the bathroom. Honestly, Mom, I don't know what Blake's problem is. It's not like he has anything better to do. He just goes to the gym and plays video games all day. Video games. She actually thought my entire life consisted of video games. Never mind the long hours I was grinding at work. Mom's response was even better. I know, sweetheart. Your brother's always been a bit selfish. He'll grow out of it eventually. I stood in that hallway, trying not to put my fist through the drywall. I was selfish for wanting basic control over my own weekends. The next few weeks were brutal. I kept showing up every Saturday because what else could I do? But I started noticing patterns. Amanda would always forget to pack snacks or lunch, forcing me to buy meals. She'd drop them off with dead iPads and no chargers. She'd roll up at 9 p.m. reeking of perfume and looking refreshed from whatever restaurant they'd been at, clearly half drunk, while I'd been running on fumes. Then there were the random weekday favors that started piling up. Blake, can you pick up Tyler from soccer practice? Blake, can you grab April from school? Blake, can you loan Todd some money? Always framed as an expectation. I started keeping a mental tally. Every Saturday was 14 hours minimum. That's 56 hours a month, 448 hours over 8 months. That's 18 and a half full days of my life I donated to free childcare. And what did I get in return? Being called selfish. The real wake-up call came about 2 months before Dad's retirement party. I was at my buddy Drake's place watching the Suns game, and he asked why I'd been flaking on golf. I explained the babysitting situation. He just looked at me like I'd grown a second head. Bro, why the hell are you still doing that? Tell her no. It's not that simple, man. They're family. Yeah, and they're using you. You know what we call that in the real world? Being a doormat. That hit different. Coming from a friend who had zero skin in the game, it suddenly seemed so obvious. I wasn't helping family. I was being exploited. I needed an exit strategy. 6 weeks before Dad's retirement party, Mom called me at work. I was in the middle of a client presentation, but I stepped out to take the call. Blake, hi honey. I'm calling about your father's retirement party. My stomach immediately dropped. We're doing a really big celebration. Your Aunt Marilyn is coming with her 3 kids, Uncle Jim and Aunt Helen with their 2 boys, and Todd's entire family. His parents, his brother with 2 kids. It's gonna be a huge party. I did quick math. That was gonna be massive. Sounds great, Mom. What do you need me to bring? Actually, that's exactly why I'm calling. Your father's been working for 40 years, and I really want this party to be special. But cooking for that many people is just too much for me. I was hoping you could handle arranging the catering. There it was. Same old playbook. Blake makes good money, so Blake can fund everything. How many people total? Oh, probably around 30, maybe 32 with everyone. I know it's expensive, but you're doing so well, and your father and I are on a fixed income now. We just can't afford something like this. That was rich. They'd both had solid careers and collected healthy pensions. They owned their house outright. They traveled to Mexico twice a year. The rest of the family is really struggling financially right now, too. Amanda and Todd just bought that new SUV, so they're stretched thin. Everyone's broke except you. The guilt hit. It was Dad's retirement party. 40 years of work deserved a proper send-off. And technically, I could afford it. Okay, Mom. I'll take care of the catering. Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart. I'll email you everyone's dietary restrictions. After I hung up, I sat in my car doing research. Fleming's Prime Steakhouse came back with a quote for $2,400 for the full spread. With delivery fees, service charges, and tip, I was staring at close to $3,000. $3,000. But I swallowed the resentment and told myself it was a one-time thing. I placed the order, paid the $1,800 deposit, and tried not to think about how my savings account was crying. Then, 10 days before the party, I was at the office around 7 p.m. when my phone rang. Some coordinator from Fleming's. Mr. Hayes? Unfortunately, we're having an issue with our supplier. We can't provide the ribeye and filet selections. We'd like to substitute with our signature chicken and salmon at the same price point. Let me check with my family and get back to you, I said. I immediately started calling. Mom, straight to voicemail. Dad, no answer. Amanda, voicemail. Todd, voicemail. Frustrating as hell, but whatever. I just drive over to my parents' place and ask in person. I pulled up around 8 p.m., let myself in with my key. The house smelled like Mom's usual dinner. I was about to call out when I heard voices from the family room. Mom was on the phone, talking in that loud way she does when she's gossiping. Then I heard my name, and something made me freeze. Oh, Marilyn, Blake will be absolutely perfect for watching all the kids. You don't need to worry about bringing any entertainment. Watching the kids? What the hell? I pressed myself against the hallway wall, staying silent. We're gonna set up the downstairs rec room with some movies and board games, and Blake can just stay down there with all the children while us adults actually enjoy the party upstairs. With your 3, Jim's 2, and Todd's brothers 2, that's 7 kids Blake can handle in the basement. 7 freaking minions. My heart started hammering. Mom continued, laughing now. I know, but it's perfect. Blake doesn't have kids of his own, so he's not already exhausted like the rest of us parents. And he's the youngest adult, so he's got all that energy. Plus, he watches Amanda's kids every weekend anyway. So what's a few more for one day? I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Trust me, Marilyn. Bring all 3 of yours. This way, all of us adults can actually relax and enjoy the party without kids running around. We'll have good food, adult conversations, maybe some poker after dinner. It's gonna be wonderful. Blake can handle the kids in the basement, and we won't have to deal with any of the chaos. I stood there in my parents' hallway, barely breathing. This whole retirement party was a setup. They expected me to drop $3,000 on food, then spend the entire party trapped in the basement, babysitting 7 kids while everyone else celebrated upstairs without me. And that's when something inside me just snapped. I backed toward the front door, my hands shaking. Once outside, I made a show of opening and closing the door again, this time loudly. Mom! Dad! I'm here! I called out, forcing my voice to sound normal. Mom appeared with this huge fake smile. Oh, Blake, honey? What a nice surprise. I wanted to explode right there, but I kept my cool. Fleming's called. They can't do the ribeyes and fillets anymore. They want to substitute chicken and salmon. Is that okay? Oh, that sounds wonderful. Your father loves salmon. Whatever you think is best, sweetheart. I left before I could say something I'd regret. The drive back to my condo was a blur. When I got home, I paced around my living room for probably 30 minutes straight, getting angrier with each lap. This wasn't just about the party. This was about 8 months of systematic exploitation. Every Saturday morning, Amanda showed up unannounced. Every guilt trip, every manipulation, every time they made me feel selfish for wanting basic respect. Drake's words echoed, "They're using you, bro. You're being a doormat." He was right. I'd been a doormat for months. Well, not anymore. Screw that. I grabbed my phone and called Fleming's back. Hi, this is Blake Hayes. I placed that large order for my father's retirement party. Yes, Mr. Hayes. Did you make a decision about the menu substitution? Actually, I need to cancel the entire order. Pause. Cancel the entire order? But the party is less than 2 weeks away. Yeah, I understand. Cancel everything. Okay, there will be cancellation fees. You'll receive a refund of approximately $1,200 of your $1,800 deposit. That's fine. Cancel it. Now. I hung up and sat on my couch, staring at the wall. Then a memory surfaced from 4 months ago. My buddy Mike, who'd moved to Austin for work, had invited me to visit. Dude, you need to come down here. Austin's insane right now. I'd turned him down without thinking twice. Can't, man. Family stuff every weekend. Now, sitting in my condo after discovering my family's trap, that conversation felt like a sign from the universe. I pulled up Mike's number and called. Blake! What's up, brother? Hey Mike, remember when you invited me to Austin? Is that offer still open? Hell yeah! When are you thinking? How about in 10 days? There's this family thing I'm supposed to be at, but I'm thinking I'd rather be literally anywhere else. He laughed. Dude, are you finally ditching the Saturday babysitting gig? Something like that. Awesome, man. I'll text you the details. We're gonna have a blast. After I hung up, I felt this weight lift off my shoulders. But I wasn't done yet. I opened DoorDash and placed an order. 7 Happy Meals from McDonald's. Chicken nuggets. To be delivered to my parents' house at exactly 6 p.m. on the day of the party. In the delivery instructions, I added, for the retirement party. 7 kids' meals for the 7 kids you thought you had free babysitting for. Good luck. Then I added a note. Compliments of Blake. The free childcare you ordered. Cost me $42. Best $42 I ever spent. The next 10 days were surprisingly calm. Work kept me busy. Amanda called me the Wednesday before the party. Hey Blake, just confirming you're good for Saturday. We're all excited for Dad's party. Yep, wouldn't miss it, I told her. Friday afternoon, I left work early, threw my pre-packed bags in the Audi, and started the drive to Austin. The whole way there, I kept waiting for my phone to ring with some family emergency, but nothing came. I rolled into Austin around midnight. Mike was still up waiting for me. We stayed up until 3 a.m. catching up. He asked about the family situation, and I gave him the full story. Bro, that's absolutely savage what they were planning. You're doing the right thing. I know, but it's gonna get ugly. Let it. Some people need ugly to wake the hell up. Saturday started perfect. Mike and I hit up this breakfast taco place on South Congress. Best chorizo and egg tacos I'd ever had. Then we cruised around downtown Austin, checking out the street art. Around 5 p.m., my phone started buzzing. Dad calling. Mike looked over at me. You gonna answer? Yeah, I said. Let's get this over with, I answered. Hey Dad. Blake, where are you? The party started an hour ago. Oh, I'm not coming to the party, Dad. Silence. Then, what do you mean you're not coming? Stop playing games and get your butt over here right now. I overheard Mom on the phone with Aunt Marilyn about 2 weeks ago. I know all about the plan to stick me in the basement with 7 kids while everyone else enjoys the party upstairs. More silence. Then Dad's voice shifted. I don't know what you think you heard. I heard exactly what I heard, Dad. You guys were literally planning to use me as free childcare at your own retirement party, after I already agreed to pay for all the food. You're being ridiculous. Just get over here. We need you. Yeah, about that food. I canceled the catering order 2 weeks ago, so you might want to figure out a backup plan. I heard shouting in the background. You did what? Dad's voice was shaking. Blake, this is my retirement party. There are 30 people here. What the hell were you thinking? I was thinking I'm tired of being treated like the family ATM and free babysitting service. Enjoy your party, Dad. If you don't get here right now, you're not welcome in this family anymore. Good. Saves me the trouble of cutting you off myself. I hung up. Mike was staring at me. Holy shit, dude. You actually did it. Yeah, I did. My phone immediately started blowing up. Amanda calling, Mom calling. Then texts started flooding in. I powered off my phone and looked at Mike. Let's go get barbecue. We hit up Terry Black's, waited in line for about 45 minutes, but it was worth it. Best brisket I'd ever tasted. We grabbed some sodas, found a spot by the river, and just existed. No stress, no obligations, no guilt trips. Around 8 p.m., I finally turned my phone back on. The notifications were insane. 43 missed calls, 38 text messages, multiple voicemails. The texts were brutal, from Mom. How could you do this to your father? Everyone is here with no food. You've humiliated us. From Amanda. You're a selfish piece of shit. You've ruined everything. From Dad. 40 years I worked. 40 years. And my own son ruins my retirement party. We had to order pizza for 30 people. You're dead to me. Plus dozens more in the same vein. But my absolute favorite was from Todd. The kids are running wild. Complete chaos. Amanda's having a breakdown. You've destroyed this family. I read through all of them, sitting by the river in Austin. And instead of feeling guilty, I started laughing. Actually, genuinely laughing. Mike looked at the messages and started laughing too. Damn, they're losing their minds. Yeah, well, they can lose them without me. The best part? Around 6 p.m., I got a single text from an unknown number. It was a photo from the DoorDash driver. 7 Happy Meals sitting on my parents' front porch with my note clearly visible. The driver had added, "Delivery complete." The lady who answered the door looked confused, LOL, I showed Mike, and we both lost it. Dude, the Happy Meals. That's the most savage thing I've ever seen. That one petty move, $42 of McDonald's, had landed right in the middle of their disaster. We spent the rest of the weekend living it up in Austin, hit up some live music on 6th Street, went to a Longhorns game, ate at every taco truck we could find. For the first time in 8 months, I felt free. Genuinely free. No guilt. No obligations. No one demanding my time or money. Just me. Living my life on my own terms. Monday morning, I drove back to Phoenix. The entire drive, I kept expecting to feel guilty, kept waiting for the remorse to kick in. But it never came. I just felt lighter. Tuesday morning, I was at my condo getting ready for work when someone started pounding on my door. Aggressive, angry pounding that literally shook the frame. I looked through the peephole. Mom, Dad, and Amanda, all looking absolutely furious. I opened the door. Morning. Dad pushed past me into the condo, Mom and Amanda following right behind. Nobody asked permission. We need to talk, Dad said, his face red. Right now. Okay, I said, closing the door. Let's talk. Mom was already crying. How could you do this to us, Blake? There were 32 people there expecting a beautiful celebration, and we had nothing. No food, no plan, nothing. Amanda stepped forward, jabbing her finger at me. Todd's family thinks we're completely incompetent now. His mother kept asking why we didn't have any backup. His brother and sister-in-law left early. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? And those happy meals? Dad's voice was shaking. That was the most disrespectful, childish thing I've ever seen. Everyone saw them. You made us look like fools. I held my smile. You embarrassed us in front of the entire family, Mom continued. Aunt Marilyn was mortified. We had to order 15 pizzas at the last minute from Domino's. Domino's, Blake! For your father's retirement party. And the children, Amanda threw her hands up. All 7 kids were running around screaming, making messes, destroying things. It was absolute chaos. Gee, I said, that sounds terrible. Having to actually watch a bunch of kids during a family party. Can't imagine how exhausting that must have been. Don't be a smartass, Dad snapped. You want to know what's smart? Not falling for your basement babysitting trap. You guys really thought you could trick me into paying $3,000 for food and then spending the entire party watching 7 kids while everyone else had fun upstairs without me? You're our son, Mom's voice cracked. You're supposed to help family. Help family? Sure, but that's not what you wanted. You wanted me to fund Dad's party and provide free childcare so none of you had to deal with your own kids. That's being exploited. Amanda's face was bright red. You don't have kids. You don't understand how hard it is. We deserve to relax at family events. And I don't? I don't deserve to relax? I don't work hard? It's not the same, she screamed. You go home to an empty condo. You do whatever you want. You don't have responsibilities like we do. Right. No responsibilities. Except for the 8 months I spent watching your minions every single Saturday while you and Todd went out and had fun. Except for all the weekday pickups and favors. Except for the $3,000 you expected me to drop without even asking if I could afford it. Dad straightened up. We're your family. That's how it works. No, Dad. Family doesn't manipulate each other. Family doesn't plot behind each other's backs. Family doesn't treat one person like an ATM with free labor attached. Mom wiped her eyes, her voice cold. Fine. If that's how you feel, then we're done. You're not welcome at family gatherings anymore. You're not part of this family. You can be alone with your precious freedom. Sounds good to me, I said without hesitation. All 3 of them stared at me. You don't mean that, Amanda said. I absolutely mean it. I'm done being your personal piggy bank and free babysitting service. You guys can figure out your own childcare and your own finances from now on. You'll regret this, Mom said. When you're older and alone, you'll regret pushing away your family. The only thing I regret is not standing up for myself sooner. Dad pointed at the door. Let's go. He's made his choice. They walked toward the door and Mom turned back one last time. Don't come crying to us when you realize what you've lost. I won't, I said. And I meant it. After they left, I sat on my couch in silence for a few minutes. Then I blocked all their numbers. Over the next few days, other relatives started calling to shame me. Aunt Marilyn telling me I was cruel. Uncle Jim saying I'd broken Dad's heart. Some cousin I barely knew telling me I should apologize and offer to pay for another retirement party. I hung up on every single one of them. Some I blocked. Others I let go to voicemail and deleted without listening. Drake came over that Friday. So I heard through the grapevine you nuked your entire family. Pretty much. Dang! How you feeling about it? Honestly? Best I've felt in months. He tapped his can against mine. Good. They were using you, man. You did the right thing. 4 months after Dad's retirement party. I haven't spoken to my parents or Amanda since they showed up at my condo that day. I know from a few relatives who still occasionally reach out that Mom and Dad supposedly want to talk things out, but they don't know how to approach it. When these relatives try to play mediator, I give them the same answer every time. I'll consider talking to my family again when they're ready to genuinely admit they used me for months, and that they tried to trap me into being hired help at my own father's retirement party. I knew none of them were ready for that conversation. And honestly, I didn't care. But here's what I've gained in these 4 months. My entire life back. My weekends are completely my own now. I can sleep in on Saturday mornings. I joined that golf league I'd been missing. We play every Saturday at 9 a.m., and I haven't missed a single game. I started taking a motorcycle safety course because I finally bought that bike I'd been eyeing. A beautiful Yamaha MT-09. I can go on actual dates without worrying about babysitting duty derailing my plans. Speaking of dates, I met this woman named Nancy at a networking event. She's a product manager at a startup downtown. Last weekend, we took a spontaneous trip to Sedona just because we could. No obligations, no guilt, just two people enjoying each other's company. Drake and I have been golfing almost every weekend. My buddy Mike comes up from Austin about once a month, and we tear up the Scottsdale nightlife. I've been hitting the gym consistently, already dropped 10 pounds and feel better than I have in years. My coworkers have noticed the difference too. My boss pulled me aside last month and said I seem more focused, more engaged. Apparently, not being emotionally drained every weekend translates to better performance at work. I don't feel guilty anymore. Not even a little bit. Real family treats you like an equal, not like unpaid help. The funniest part? About 3 weeks after the retirement party blow-up, I ran into one of Todd's brothers at a sports bar. He was watching a game, and we made eye contact. He came over, and I braced myself for another lecture. Instead, he bought me a drink. Dude, I just want you to know, what you did at that party was legendary. My brother told me the whole story, and honestly, your sister's been pulling that babysitting shit on everyone for years. Someone needed to call her out. The Happy Meals were savage. We ended up watching the rest of the game together. Turns out, half the family thinks I'm an asshole. Whatever, I don't care. 1 month ago, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Blake, it's Tyler, my nephew. Amanda must have let him use her phone. Or maybe he'd memorized my number. Hey buddy, what's up? I just wanted to say I miss hanging out with you. Mom won't let me call you, but I snuck her phone. April misses you too. Dang, that hit different. I miss you guys too, Tyler. You know that's not about you, right? You and April didn't do anything wrong. I know. Mom says you're selfish, but I don't think you are. You were always nice to us. Listen, when you're older, if you want to reach out, I'll be here. But right now, I can't be around your mom or grandma or grandpa. Does that make sense? Yeah, Mom's been really mean lately anyway. Dad says she's stressed. We talked for a few more minutes before he had to go. That conversation stuck with me. The kids were casualties in this war, and that genuinely sucked. But I couldn't set myself on fire to keep everyone else warm. A couple of relatives have cautiously reached out to rebuild bridges. My cousin Mark, who lives in California, called a few days ago. He'd heard the full story from multiple sources and wanted my side. Look, I'm not taking sides. But between you and me, your sister's always been manipulative, and your parents have always enabled her. You were smart to get out. We made plans for him to visit Phoenix next month. The good ones stick around. You know. Then, about 2 weeks ago, I got the closure I didn't even know I needed. It was a Saturday afternoon. Nancy and I were at my place. She was making lunch while I was cleaning up from our morning ride. Then, someone knocked on my door. I opened it, and there was Amanda. No kids with her this time. She looked rough. Blake! Her voice cracked. I need to talk to you, please. Nancy appeared in the doorway behind me. Amanda's eyes flicked to her, then back to me. This is a bad time, I said flatly. Brother, please. I need your help. I have a job interview Monday morning at 9 a.m., and I can't find anyone to watch Tyler and April. Mom and Dad are out of town. Todd's parents won't answer my calls. I'm desperate. 4 months of radio silence after calling me selfish, and now she was back because she needed something. The nerve on this woman. That sounds like a you problem, I said. Her face crumbled. Blake, please. I know things ended badly, but this interview is for a really good position. I need this job. Todd lost his job 3 weeks ago, and we're drowning. The bills are piling up. The SUV payment is killing us, and I just need someone to watch the kids for a few hours. Hire a babysitter. We can't afford one right now. Please, just this once. I'll never ask again. I almost laughed. You mean like all those Saturdays when you just needed help this once? How'd that work out? Oh, right. It turned into 8 months of free labor. That was different. Tears started running down her face. Blake, I'm begging you. We're in real trouble here. I've already told them I can do the interview. If I cancel now, they won't reschedule. Nancy stepped forward. Did you just hear yourself? You already committed to something without having childcare figured out first. That's not his emergency to solve. Amanda's eyes flashed at Nancy. Who even are you? This is family business. I'm the woman who gets to actually spend weekends with Blake because he's not trapped being your free babysitter anymore. That's who I am. Amanda's face went red. She looked back at me. Blake, I'll pay you. $50 for 3 hours. That's fair, right? $50. I let that hang in the air. You want to pay me $50 to watch your kids for 3 hours after I spent 8 months doing it 14 hours a week for free? It's all I can afford right now. Then you can't afford the interview? Figure it out. You're really going to let me lose this opportunity? I'm not letting you do anything. Your life, your choices, your consequences. This is what happens when you burn bridges. You don't get to cross them anymore when you need something. She wiped her face, her expression shifting from desperate to angry. Fine. You know what? Todd was right about you. He said you've always been a selfish asshole and I defended you. But he was right. Cool. Tell Todd I said good luck dealing with your manipulation without me there to absorb it anymore. She turned and stormed off. I closed the door. Nancy looked at me. You okay? Yeah. Actually, I'm great. She smiled and kissed my cheek. Good. That was the right call. Then just when I thought I was done with the family drama. About an hour later, my phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. And hear me out. This was an unexpected bomb. Hey Blake, it's Todd. I know we haven't talked, but I wanted you to know I'm filing for divorce. I've been watching how Amanda operates for a while now, and after the retirement party thing, I finally saw the pattern. The way she used you, the way she manipulates everyone, the guilt trips, all of it. I realized she's been doing the same shit to me for years. Anyway, thanks for standing your ground. It opened my eyes. The kids ask about you. When things settle, maybe you could see them sometime. No pressure. Just wanted you to know you were right about everything. I showed Nancy. She read it and shook her head. Damn, that's both sad and satisfying. Yeah, you gonna respond? Eventually? After the divorce is final. Todd's a decent guy who got stuck with a nightmare. The kids deserve better too. My phone buzzed again. Drake in the group chat with Mike. Yo, Suns tickets for tonight. You and Nancy in? I responded immediately. Hell yeah. That night, sitting courtside with the gang, I realized something. Amanda had spent years using people, taking advantage, guilt-tripping anyone who pushed back. And now, Todd was leaving. Mom and Dad were unavailable. Her in-laws weren't answering. And her backup plan, me, had permanently deactivated himself. She was finally facing the consequences. And I was sitting with my girlfriend and best friends, living my best life, completely free of the toxicity I'd walked away from. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way.